Part 333. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 3321. Looking at Heifu, who was charging forward, the corners of Fang Fan's mouth could not help but slightly rise. This guy still likes to die as always. Galen. Destroy him. Fang Fan waved his hand and immediately ordered. Obey my lord. Galen picked up the big sword and ran directly through the crowd. His speed was extremely fast. With a big sword in one hand, who will fight for the front? A fighter like Galen, once launched, can only be said to be extremely powerful. The moment of surging combat power is instantly followed by full compression. Such feelings cannot be fully expressed in a few words. Fatal blow. Courage. Judgment. After throwing out a few small skills, directly carry out precise strikes. The battle scene once again swept across. Immediately, he launched a full-scale charge towards that black man. Court death. It actually completely gave up all defenses. I don't know if it's stupid, or arrogant. He couldn't lock onto Galen instantly at this moment, and he didn't take it seriously at the moment. He felt that his combat power was so strong. Among practitioners of the same level, he is proud enough. In addition, he also masters many high-level combat skills in the Dark School, and he also holds super weapons bestowed by the ancestors in his hands. What is he afraid of? Go up and do it. Just want to play some surging combat power. Let them all take a good look at it. Look at their invincibility and strength. Stab it? Right. That's all. He couldn't lick his lips, the sparkle in his eyes grew more and more, and the sound of breathing gradually became extremely rapid. There is an infinite smile on the corner of his mouth. He felt that he had mastered the timing. Die. Dragon God Overlord / A cold snort followed, and he couldn't attack suddenly. Suddenly, a blade hundreds of meters long appeared in the air. The blade slashed straight at Galen, and the surrounding time and space were suddenly compressed. Boom. Bang bang bang. One after another explosive sound came from God, and I saw that the surrounding space was cracking little by little. Countless spatial turbulence crazily compressed too much, as if it could swallow Galen completely in an instant. Such a scene is virtually terrifying. That guy is going to die. Definitely going to die. Must die. I didn't expect this black man to be so powerful. I really never thought of it at the beginning. As expected of the blood of the Master of the Dark Academy, this combat power is extraordinary. This Dragon God domineering / is generally a supreme combat skill that can only be displayed by a strong person in the Holy Venerable Realm. Tisk, don't need to say anything else, the battle strength has been demonstrated this time, and it has already shown a certain courage. The exclamations around him invisibly increased. Most people think that under this black knife, there may be another nameless ghost. I predicted your prediction. Cheat out your big move. Then I can move with the wind. Galen smiled calmly, and then rushed straight up, never paying attention to the so-called Dragon God Overlord / Courage. Galen murmured softly, and immediately there was a layer of golden protective shield covering his body. Heifu's lingering attack hit Galen's golden protective shield, causing this layer of golden protective shield to crack little by little. Boom. After the shield shattered, it did cause a certain degree of damage to Galen, but it stopped there. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 3322. Galen wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, his face showed a look of indifference, and he gathered all the blood. Because the protective shield with courage skill then resisted most of the attack power, so he didn't bear a lot of attack power. Immediately, the current situation was revealed. How can it be? How can my dragon god tyrant / be so powerful? There is a problem here. There is a problem. He couldn't accept the reality in front of him, and while talking at the moment, his complexion became more and more ugly. The surrounding cultivators who participated in the battle couldn't help but widen their eyes at this moment, and the astonishment on their faces was beyond words. All of this is very different from what was expected. Why has it become like this? Who is this guy in golden armor? Why does he look so mighty? This is far from what I had expected all along. Heifu couldn't stare at Galen, as if he wanted to ask unreasonable questions. As for Galen at this moment, his face is calm, and he seems to be rampant. In every way, nothing. The proper attitude must be displayed. Who are you? Black couldn't ask in a cold voice. He. You don't need to know. Because, you will be dead soon. Galen shrugged, suddenly soaring into the sky. Around the body, infinite power is frantically gathering. Justice for Demacia. The great sword in Galen's hand is almost at its limit. With a mind-shattering murderous intent. At this moment, it is directly and violently oppressed. It's so powerful, so powerful. No, do not want. Impossible. Go away. Go away. He couldn't help trembling his lips, and the horror in his eyes was beyond words. The current state made him feel a little crazy. Why? Why did it become like this? But now he can't think so much, he wants to escape. He is going to run away like crazy. The speed of fleeing became faster and faster, and then galloped to the extreme. At this moment, I don't want to say any nonsense anymore. Because he felt the threat of death. If he continues to delay here, he will die soon. He couldn't move his legs, and then frantically ran towards the surrounding area. But at this moment, within a few hundred meters around, there are attacking practitioners everywhere, so where can he go? Roll. Go away. Grass. Don't stand in the way of labor. Labor and capital let you get out of the way. Damn, did you hear me? Get out of the way. The growls gradually increased, and a trace of cold sweat began to seep from Heifu's forehead. At this moment, the sense of panic surged in my heart, and I couldn't take care of other messy things. Holding a saber in his hand, he stabbed at the so-called ally in front of him. Anyone who stands in my way will die. Die. Go to hell. Go to hell. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Stab. Click. He couldn't be completely insane at this moment, seeing people kill people, seeing gods kill gods. Not to mention the allies of other colleges, even the students of his own dark college, he can still kill him. Who let these bastards stand in their way? He can't be the blood of the palace master. Very respectful. Everyone must give way. Whoever refuses to accept it, then you have to die. It must be suppressed to death. He couldn't see the gap in front of him, and then his heart trembled secretly. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 3323. Escaped. Really escaped. There is a way ahead. I can escape. That damn bastard behind him, let him die. Anyway, I must escape. To escape. No one can block my way. Ha 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 ha. I can't help but survive from death. I can't help but survive a catastrophe, and there will be future blessings. The arrogance around Heifu's body rose to the extreme. Immediately, the speed of fleeing became faster and faster. Tisk. Escaping for so long. It's time to stop. An indifferent voice came, and the surrounding atmosphere was instantly suppressed to the extreme. Justice for Demacia. Whoosh. Whoosh whoosh. The golden light shines for thousands of miles. Arrive. It's approaching. Directly oppressed. He couldn't subconsciously hold a sword to resist. Click. In an instant, the saber in his hand was shattered into two halves. Ling Lai's sword slashed directly at the top of his head. Ah! He couldn't make a sound, and then moved a few centimeters away abruptly. Stab. Click. Galen's sword fell. Directly cut and separate the small half of its body. Ah! Ah! It hurts. It hurts. A heart-piercing roar followed, and Haofu's eyes instantly turned extremely blood red. At this moment, he was clutching his chest, and his brain had already split open. Now he doesn't want to say anything, he just wants to, just stay in silence. So scary, so creepy. But immediately, he gathered all his mental power in his mind. If you don't run away now, you will be dead soon. Bloodlight Talisman. Now. He couldn't grit his teeth and roared, and then a blood-colored talisman suddenly appeared in the sky, and immediately after, the half of his body cut off by S suddenly turned into a puddle of blood and merged into the blood-colored talisman. Under the eyes of everyone, this blood-colored talisman suddenly shone with dazzling light. The radiance is radiant, and it is inexplicably dazzling. How so? Very scary. The murmuring sound came, and at this moment, everyone's expressions became very strange for no reason. The blood-colored talisman seemed to have absorbed enough energy, and immediately wrapped itself around He Falang's body, and disappeared without a trace under the eyes of everyone. On the ground, only a pool of blood was left. Galen held up the big sword, and was also suddenly stunned at this moment. Did this kill loneliness? Why is this different from what you expected? What about people? Disappeared, how to fight? This means of escape is indeed a bit strange. At this moment, those cultivators from various colleges and universities in the surrounding area immediately looked at each other in blank dismay. The reason why they attacked so bravely was that they were bewitched by Haofu. Subconsciously, these people also regard this black man as their spiritual leader. But now the spiritual leader has fled with a half-disabled body. What are they going to do now? It was originally a plate of loose sand, but now it looks very loose. What's more, the opponent in front of him is also very difficult to fight. Those opponents with weird weapons could easily shoot a bullet from somewhere, and then pierced his skull. Seems so precise every time. In addition, there are still some opponents who can actually shoot things that can explode. Once they explode, they will be a piece. Who can hold it? Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3324. Run, run. Huh? Really run away? I don't want this baby anymore. Are you stupid or am I stupid? What the hell is going on now, don't you know? Baby. Treasure hammer. That black can't be considered strong, right? What about now? Don't you have any points in your heart? If you continue to stay here, you will definitely die. Spread your feet, just run. Damn, don't delay. If you are so determined to die, don't pull me. This is a storm of escape. It's quite interesting for you to catch up with me. Escaping is the only theme at the moment. They have all felt the power of the mysterious weapon, and they don't want to sink into it and die. Now that this is the case, let's hang on. It is true that my life can be stabilized. As for the other bells and whistles, I don't need to care at all. Fang Fan raised his head and glanced at the battle situation. It was already in complete defeat at this moment. This battle really didn't take too much energy. If a plate of loose sand wants to be defeated, it will not be too easy. This, this wins. Guisha just went out to charge for a while, and then found that the victory and defeat had been divided. Is victory so easy? But why does it always feel a little weird? Is there something wrong with this? 1. I've said it a long time ago, with Fang Fan, all you need is to learn how to paddle. As for the others, they are not important at all, they are nothing. Bai Piao shrugged, and the indifference on his face was beyond words when he spoke. In all aspects, there is such self-confidence. He. I had some doubts before, but now, I fully understand. Brother Fang Fan and we are not on the same level at all. The angles and heights of thinking about problems are different. In our opinion, these thousands of enemies are very difficult to fight against. After all, in the True God Cave, most of them can display the strongest 5-star initial stage sanctuary combat power. But in the eyes of Brother Fang Fan, these are nothing more than chickens and lackeys. It can be crushed directly in minutes. This is the grandeur of Brother Fang Fan. Brother Fang Fan, Zhuoqiuyao, are far from you. Zhuoqiuyao sighed softly, and at this moment completely followed suit. Immediately, there was a wave of praise for Fang Fan around. Husband, you are amazing, Li Yulai likes it so much. Brother Fang Fan is so terrifying. Brother Fang Fan is suppressing eternity. Brother Fang Fan is so powerful that he can lift mountains and surpass the world. Husband. There were so many praises that Fang Fan felt a little embarrassed. Good guy. In this aspect, at least you have to take it easy. As for talking so much, just a few words of praise is enough, but I can't stand it all the time. Cough. Basic. Everyone, don't get too excited. It's better to organize the team early and look for the fragments of the God Stone. Fang Fan pondered for a while, then nodded and said, he still has a task to find 100 fragments of the sacred stone. These two eyes are at a loss, and I don't know how to look for them. Is it just to search every inch of land? Fang Fan's gaze scanned the surrounding area, at least there was no trace of any fragments of the sacred stone in this area. Yo. Are you, shy? So cute. Come on. Call my sister. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3325. The president of the Guangming Society suddenly said such a sentence, which almost caused Fang Fan to fall directly. Good guy. What kind of tiger and wolf words are these? In all aspects, can't you just take it easy? This brain immediately buzzed. Fang Fan let out a foul breath, and smiled wryly at this moment, feeling quite speechless. This, can you say a chicken? President Chu, in public, pay attention to the influence. Fang Fan has already started to stop. Yo. What's wrong? What else can they gossip about? It's not wrong for me to call you sister. You and Xiangfei are a couple, I am Xiangfei's cousin, isn't that your cousin? You call me sister, shouldn't you? Chu Sisi held her head high, and then said with a straight face. It's all starting to come down to these connections. Fang Fan shrugged speechlessly, then strode forward a few steps, and then chose to change the subject to resolve the current embarrassing situation. Next, let's deploy the mission. We don't know anything about the True God Cave Mansion. But what is certain is that there must be some fragments of the Divine Stone. A fragment of the Divine Stone can be worth 10,000 high-grade star cores, so even if you keep looking for fragments of the Divine Stone, it is not a loss. However, in such a huge True God Cave, I am afraid there will be some other treasures. In any case, these are treasures left by the True God. It may be unusual to take out one casually. Everyone must search carefully. The time we can stay in the True God's cave is limited, and the internal energy of the True God's cave is not known how long it can last, So we should return as soon as possible. Besides, there are some dangers to worry about. I don't know how long this True God cave mansion has existed. It seems normal that there are some dangers. Fang Fan glanced around, then said vigilantly. Be careful, there is no big mistake. Fang Fan always felt that this real God's cave was not so simple. In fact, since entering this so-called territory of the gods, Fang Fan felt strange. Like the sudden attack of the gods, or the sudden appearance of the real God's cave, they all seem to be deliberate. It's okay, Brother Fang Fan is an eternal god, it's absolutely right to follow Brother Fang Fan. Gisha has now become Fang Fan's die-hard fan, and while talking, he nodded in agreement. The rest of the people looked at each other, and then they all had similar expressions on their faces. Anyway, I basically have such an impression in my heart now. Brother Fang Fan is an eternal god. Brother Fang Fan is an eternal god. Husband, the eternal god. Fang Fan is an eternal god. Fang Fan. The process of exploring the fragments of the God stone is undoubtedly boring. It's like looking for some strange stones on the side of the road, and it slowly hurts the eyes. In the beginning, they were all rushing to the fragments of the divine stone worth 10,000 high-grade star cores, so the excitement on their faces was beyond words, and they all put all their energy into searching for the fragments of the divine stone. But slowly, the mental strength and earnestness began to dissipate. I don't know if there are really few fragments of the divine stone in the true God's cave or because Fang Fan's luck is bad enough. Anyway, after searching for a long time, they didn't even see a fragment of the divine stone. Invisibly, it hurt self-confidence. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3326. I came here with boundless passion, and this is it now. Needless to say about other things for the time being, this heart is more or less difficult to get through. I couldn't help but want to sigh along with it. More or less complicated thoughts of this kind will pop up in my mind. Even Bai Piao, a miser, couldn't help wanting to work abroad at this moment. Ah! Too difficult. Me. After searching for so long, I found nothing. Is this really looking for a needle in a haystack? Fang Fan boy, why do I feel like I was tricked by the deputy palace master and master? Where did the fragments of the divine stone come from? At a glance, there is only a desert. Bang bang bang. Bai Piao raised his hand, clenched his fist, and then hit his head several times. This is not self-harm, but I want to use this method to carry out a wave of comprehensive stress-relieving actions. It's really too hard to go on like this. Roar. Ho 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 ho. Suddenly, one after another wild beast roared, shaking the world. In the distance, a few figures slowly appeared. Run, run. Fierce beast. What a terrifying beast. Grass. Why did no one tell me before that there are such weird monsters in this ghost place? The realm of this monster is about the same as ours, but this combat power is too strong, it can't beat, run away. If I had known about labor and management, I wouldn't have signed up. The howls followed. Immediately there was a wave of fleeing. Those cultivators are naturally young talents who entered it from the outside world to hunt for treasures. It's just that luck is not very good. Not long after entering here, he encountered such a disaster. Fang Fan and the others discovered these practitioners, and naturally these practitioners immediately set their sights on Fang Fan and the others. At this moment, their respective eyes lit up, and then they rushed over excitedly. "There's someone over there, shit. I found a scapegoat. Hey, as long as those murderers and that group of people get entangled, we'll be safe. Yes. Yes, yes. That's the truth. Damn it. What are you waiting for? Run. Run. Move. Move up. Speed up. People do not die for themselves. When encountering the same kind in the True God Cave, the first reaction is to use the maximum value, which seems very real. Behind this group of people, there is an extremely strange-looking beast chasing after them. The body of this ferocious beast was black and gray, its body was particularly large, and its footsteps were extremely fast. From time to time, it would let out a roar. On its back, there is also a pair of rather ferocious meat wings. Ching chi. This is a poor and strange beast. I didn't expect Kyanki to appear here. Chu Sisi took a deep breath, and then hurriedly said in a cold voice. The current situation has become extremely harsh in an instant. If you are not careful, you may be involved in it and cannot extricate yourself. The moment of death is no joke, it is inexplicably frightening and exciting. After feeling it for a while, the corners of the mouth couldn't help twitching. Once you can't collapse mentally, you will be oppressed across the board. It looks like it is indeed the first stage of the 5-star sanctuary. But because of its size and familiarity with the terrain, its combat power has increased dramatically. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3327. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, and immediately became vigilant, not daring to be careless. If such a ferocious Kyanki murderer really let him rush over, the team would be scattered in an instant. Bales. Order all low heavy machine artillery to get ready to shoot. Hans. Order all Goth Sanctuary sharpshooters to get ready. Fang Fan gave an order, and then his body rose into the air, looking directly at the dozen or so cultivators rushing in the distance. Get out. Impenetrable here. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and then said sonorously and forcefully, he had directly expressed his attitude. Under normal circumstances, these people should be conscious, so as to make the clearest decision. But if it's self-destruction, then I'd be very embarrassed and just slap him to death. In all respects, that's exactly what happened. Brother. The opposite is a brother from the light camp. I am Chiu Latong from the light camp. We have been chased by a fierce beast, please do me a favor, let us pass. Otherwise we will die. Everyone is a member of the light camp, and at critical times, we should help each other. I, Chiu Latong, will definitely remember this kindness. In the distance, the leading young cultivator suddenly said with a smile. What he said was straightforward, but it was unclear how much sincerity there was in this tone. He. You can break out from all directions, why do you want to turn a corner and rush towards me? Is this trying to drag us all into the water? To be buried with you? Isn't your intention clear enough? Please evacuate from other directions, otherwise, in order to ensure our own safety, we can only shoot indiscriminately. Fang Fan shrugged, the expression of indifference on his face was particularly appropriate. Fang Fan has never had the habit of putting danger on himself. Not happy, then do it. You. Snored. I don't believe you dare to do it. We are both practitioners of the light camp. If you dare to do something, you will die when I go back and report to the Temple of the Light Alliance. Besides, I am the true disciple of Chiu Latong. If you dare to attack me, Chiu Latong will never let you go. I, Chiu Latong, am a genuine first-rank power. There was a roaring sound, and the cultivator in front of him, who claimed to be the true disciple of Chiu Latong, strode forward immediately, followed by everyone behind him, followed closely by Hahao. Why? Why do so many people always like to die? Death, is it really fun? Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, the corners of his mouth raised silently, and the murderous intent in his eyes was fully gathered. What should come, will always come. Bales, Hans. Indiscriminate shooting. Fang Fan waved his hand, then said indifferently. Obey my lord. A group of low-heavy machine artillery and Goth sanctuary sharpshooters are fully prepared. Boom. Bang bang bang. Boom. The sound of guns and guns sounded instantly, followed by overwhelming pressure. The main target of attack is naturally that poor and strange beast. However, some deviations in orientation will naturally occur during the attack. From every point of view, everything is very normal. Rows of cannon shells were fired, and most of them fell on the Kyanki beast, but there were also 2 sporadic bombardments on those Chulatong practitioners. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 3328. Boom. There was a crackling sound, and several hard-headed Chulatong practitioners were instantly bombarded into a ball. Ah! Ah! It hurts, it hurts. You bastards. You really dare to do it? Crazy. I think you are really crazy. Damn. It's extremely hateful. The roaring sounds gradually increased, and those Chulatong practitioners became anxious at this moment, and naturally resented Fang Fan and the others. Now he made a gesture and rushed towards Fang Fan's direction. For all external risks, we must kill them in the cradle. No difference, kill. Fang Fan's indifferent voice came, and all the legions naturally carried out Fang Fan's will with all their strength. If the dozen or so Chulatong practitioners were more sensible at this moment and chose to evacuate from other directions, they could still save their lives. After all, Fang Fan never took the initiative to target them. But obviously, these people are too arrogant, and they feel that they can hate the world. But in the end, everything will be invisible. Nothing. The more I look at it, the more my scalp feels numb, which is probably the case. Very real and very clear. The sharpshooters in the Gothic sanctuary lined up in a row, shot a wave directly, and killed all of them. All the obstacles in front of you are cleared away. This. Isn't it a little cruel? Chu Ceci opened his mouth, and a look of melancholy appeared on his face at this moment. He. I already reminded them, but they didn't listen. Furthermore, they know that there are people here, but they turned a corner and headed towards this place. In fact, their purpose is to let us attract the attention of that poor beast, so that they can escape. On this basis, I chose to remind once, but they still go their own way, so no wonder I am. It can only be said that they found this dead end by themselves, and they can't blame anyone. Fang Fan looked into the distance with cold eyes, and saw that after the huge Kyanki beast was hit by bullets and shells, there were only some minor injuries on the surface of its body. It can be seen that its defense is really strong to the extreme. Fang Fan licked his lips, thinking to himself, the sparkle in his eyes couldn't help but increased. It's kind of interesting. As expected of a ferocious beast wandering in the true God's cave, this defensive power is 3 points stronger than that of ordinary ferocious beasts. Guanhai. Order the Yellow Turban Sanctuary Warlock Legion to increase the negative status of this Kyang Chi. Fang Fan then ordered again. Obey my lord. Guanhai moved when he heard the wind. Curse. Corrosion. Guanhai muttered to himself, and then all the warlocks of the Yellow Turban Sanctuary also began to chant obscure spells. Curse, curse the enemy in front of you, making them tired, old, and convulsive. Corrosion, corrodes the enemies in front of you, turning them into a puddle of thick water. These 2 skills are specific skills of the Yellow Turban Sanctuary Warlock Legion. In team battles, it can play an extraordinary effect. When fighting against a colossus like Qiang Chi Xiong beast, it can also attack in all directions. Soon, the manic Qianqi beast began to react. Its speed slowly became sluggish, and layers of black liquid slowly began to form on the surface of the black-gray skin. A stench is coming. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3329. Roar. Ho 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 ho. The ferocious beast was so angry that its eyes were full of blood at this moment. The magical spells of the warlocks of the Yellow Turban Sanctuary made it feel unbearable pain. After the roar, there was another more ferocious attack. Blood Azura Legion. Dragon Knight Legion. The Titan Warrior Legion. Abyss Demon King Legion. Seraph Legion. Work together to stop the beast. Galen, Jax, and Kyle, split up and attack. Daji, Caitlyn, remote output. Vega, use your black magic to your heart's content. Fang Fan secretly squinted his eyes, and his whole body was full of combat power. To fight against this poor murderer in front of you, you must do your best, and you must not slack in the slightest. At this moment, it is time to fight to the end. When the god of death comes, everything will collapse completely. A series of injuries fell on Qianqi's body. No matter how strong his defense was, it was impossible for him to bear such blows all the time. Gradually, more and more wounds appeared on the Qianqi fierce beast. The black blood slowly dripped down the crocodile-like skin, watering the ground, corroding all the flowers, plants, and trees. Gee! My lord, my black magic is done. Vega came out from the crowd. The short man was a bit inconspicuous, but the black ball of black magic in his hand was really frightening. At this moment, after feeling it a little bit, the eyes couldn't help trembling violently. Thoughts are gathered here, and eyes are also fully dispersed. Needless to say a few words, this time the idea is in full swing. Attack. Fang Fan nodded in satisfaction. He hadn't been dispatched for a long time. Because Fang Fan's own cultivation base has been stuck in place, it is difficult to break through the cultivation base of a group of heroes. Gradually, on the high-intensity battlefield, the sense of presence of the 6 heroes is also slowly decreasing. But in the True God Cave, everyone's combat power is compressed below the 5-star initial sanctuary. In this way, the opportunity for you heroes will naturally come. Before entering the True God Cave, Fang Fan's cultivation base had already been promoted to the 3-star initial stage of the Holy Realm, and the 6 heroes were naturally promoted to the 6-star initial stage of the Holy Realm. In the True God Cave, there is every chance for them to display it. Dark Priest. Dark Matter. Energy Burst. The God Position bonus of the Magistrate of the Underworld. Wei Jie muttered to himself, and then the dark magic in his hand instantly smashed towards the poor murderer. Boom. Rumbling. There was a cracking sound, and everything in front of me was shattered. Roar. Ho 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 ho. The Qianqi beast let out a desperate neighing sound. It trembled its wings and wanted to flap, but the pressure on its body was too great. Slowly, its body began to lose its vitality, and finally collapsed on the ground, motionless. The whole body has been bombarded by powerful dark magic. So strong. This is the real boss. This Wajia brother, why didn't he pay attention to it before? I'm afraid this combat power, I'm afraid even ordinary 6-star sanctuary practitioners can be killed by bombardment. Gudong. Zhuoqiuyao swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and while talking, his eyes showed shock. At any given moment, the stronger is always more attractive. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 3330. At this moment Xiuoqiu couldn't help but cast a strange light towards Wajia. This big guy is so strong. It's so radiant. So strong. Thinking about this, the sparkle in the eyes can't help but increase, and the feelings are slowly taking off in full swing. Under Brother Fang Fan, there are no weaklings. Master. Found, discovered something strange. Galen flew over from a distance, his facial expression changed very realistically, he was speaking at this moment, and then delivered a purple stone. Godstone. Godstone fragments. This. Fang Fan's eyes lit up, and a look of astonishment appeared on his face. Why did I see the fragments of the divine stone that I couldn't find so hard? Where did you find out? Fang Fan's eyes scanned the surrounding area, and he looked more or less curious at the moment. It was dug out from the belly of the poor murderer. After beheading it, I found that the position of its belly was a bit strange, and then cut it open, and then found the fragment of the Godstone. Galen followed up very sincerely. Belly position? Godstone fragments. Why does it feel like there is no connection between the two? Did this Kyanki beast commit suicide like this? It actually swallowed the fragments of the Godstone. Aren't you panicking? Bai Biao on the side blinked, with a curious look on his face, it looked so weird. It is possible that this poor and strange beast wants to use the energy in the fragments of the sacred stone to cultivate. Although its spiritual intelligence is not fully enlightened, it doesn't know how to extract the energy in the fragments of the Godstone, so it naturally chooses to swallow it. If this is the case, there may be other fragments of the sacred stone in its stomach. Fang Fan pondered for a while, and then followed suit. From all aspects, it still seems more realistic. The thinking mode is oriented in place, and it gradually becomes real. Galen, look for it again. Fang Fan nodded silently, and then followed suit. I go. Hey. I'll do the hard work. Bai Biao took the initiative to ask for Ying, and then flew out directly, the smile on his face became more and more real. This piece of divine stone is 10,000 high-grade star cores, and if you find any one, you will get rich. Naturally, Bai Biao would not miss such a good opportunity. This guy is not too disgusting, he just burrowed into the belly of Kyanki beast and started to search for it. Fang Fan and the others looked at each other, then shrugged helplessly, this is Bai Biao's truest appearance. The guy has never been in shape. Found another piece. There's one more piece. I go. Sent. From time to time, Bai Biao could hear excited howls, and he tossed and tossed in the belly of the Kyanki beast for about half an hour before reluctantly coming out. Cough. I found 3 fragments of the divine stone. Adding the original one, it's 4. Good, very good. Looks like we need to kill a few more poor beasts. One poor beast can bring 4 fragments of the divine stone, worth 40,000 high-grade star cores. If you kill 100 or 80. Good on. Bai Biao swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and gradually began to wander the world, the eager and excited mood at this moment is simply too real. This guy has never had any resistance to the star core.